happen, and we all knew the government would kick the can down the road and say, we're going to wait for a while. We're going to keep the power for a second. We're not going to open the economy fully. We're not going to get rid of everything. Like other countries have done, Denmark, Sweden, but Sweden never was really in lockdown, to be totally honest with you. Norway, no restrictions at all whatsoever. There's nothing whatsoever. Maybe they might have a COVID pass here and there to go into different places. But that's about it. There's no mandatory mask when I went to that. People can choose themselves if they want to wear it, if they think it's necessary to wear it. Over here, they have to be the big father and just say to you, no, we're in charge. We're in charge of your life. No, you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. I don't even want to talk about the nightclub situation. I think you have to wear a mask. I think while you're dancing. I think that's what they came out the outrageous thing, which I'm sure they would change because it's outrageous if that's the case. Because that's what I heard. If you're dancing, you have to wear a mask, apart from when you're drinking or eating, which is outrageous thing. Like again, you might as well stay at home at that stage. Because what fun would happen? You'd be literally sweating. You literally would be sweating, and you wouldn't be able to breathe nearly half the time because you'd be dancing. But again, we all knew this was happening. I said it a million times. The government would extend it, and they're hoping as it came out today. OT, the media again. The media, not a word. You think the media be up in arms saying, how dare the government do this? You'll put a huge pressure on them. Because many people are very ticked because they said it was Groundhog Day. And they did kind of say Micheál Martin, and Micheál Martin, sorry. And the rest of them did say a few months ago, there'd be no such thing as restrictions. And they really promised people that there would be no restrictions and nobody needed to worry because it would happen. But it's very convenient that the cases have gone up. It's very convenient for them. But again, the promise they did say, and they did say it would be Groundhog Day, really, but they didn't use that exact word. And obviously Micheál Martin too, the fake news media, it's going on saying Micheál Martin's a big supporter of antigen testing. I heard him many times over the last year say the antigen testing, he didn't think they were worth much. And he said that once on the Dáil record. He did, and I remember it. I do remember it. That was last year. I do remember him saying antigen testing. They were asked about antigen testing in schools. And he said he didn't think it was effective or something along them lines. Don't quote me entirely, but I do remember him saying something about antigen testing. He said it wasn't the best option at the moment. And that's back last year. Now he's saying I'm the champion of antigen testing. So again, RT, the media, they should hang their heads in shame. They should really hang their heads in shame. Not one hard question. You think to be literally in the Dáil, the whole lot of them will go into the Dáil, nearly break into the Dáil, and demand Leo and Micheál Martin to give an explanation to you and me, the taxpayer, on why we still have restrictions and why in the name of fuck is 93% of the population vaccinated and people are still getting COVID. Again, beats me. Wexford has, I think, a 99 point something percent or 98 point something percent vaccination rate. And apparently the school down there that's closed, a primary school, and people are still getting it's the highest infection rate in the country. It doesn't make sense. Put two and two together. Where's the logic? There's no logic. Where's the logic in that? Half the, let's say probably, maybe about, if you say 99, Wexford's population, let's take for example 200,000. There's probably out of, say, 99.8% or something like that, nearly 99%, 2% not vaccinated, right? Or choosing not to give, whatever the case may be. But, let's say, I'm not good with numbers, but say 5,000. Let's take 5,000 out of 2,000 people. 200,000, sorry. Take for example, probably been generous there, but, that's just explaining it. And they still have a high vaccination rate. High vaccination rates in the cases are still there. It doesn't make any sense. And they're saying that your ICUs are overloaded and things like that. It doesn't make any sense because they said the vaccine would stop this. Doesn't make any sense. Again, that's the thing I keep saying. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. But then again, this country never made any sense. But look at. But again, we all knew what's happened. We all knew that. I even said many times that we'll go ahead with it. Probably it'd be again. Stephen Donnelly has said that he wants it up to February. He wants the powers into February. And then obviously will be extended to probably summertime. Then to winter. And then to the next year. As we all know, that at the end of the day, they're just high on power. And Neffert is still around. Again, Neffert is still going to be around, even though they said and they told us to get rid of them. Because the people are sick of listening to them. People are sick of listening to Neffert because they're talking absolute being shite. They're not doing any good for anybody. Let's be honest. I think if I went in there, I'd do more, and I know a bit more than Neffert because €9 meals. They probably bring that back. Again, who in Neffert was like that? Again, Neffert, who are they accountable to? Who's accounting? Who's holding them account? Because everything that Neffert says is affecting people. It's affecting people in different ways. It's affecting their businesses. It's affecting people's livelihoods. it's affected people's mental health too. It's not just COVID. But again, media, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found in media asking questions. But again, if you think if there was a decent media in a decent country, that would actually fight for people, that the people want, and the people didn't want any more restrictions. They thought it was enough. 93% of the population is vaccinated. What more do they want? They wanted it. They said we want as many people as possible vaccinated, so we didn't have to lock down or anything like that. What more? Seriously, what more did they want? Did they want people to go and hide in their houses? Is that what people want next of people? Because it's utterly, it's literally ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous at this stage. It's honestly a joke. Because again, other countries are lifting the restrictions and getting rid of them entirely. Because Ireland has one of the highest vaccination rates in the EU. And again, apparently that it's not enough. It doesn't it's not. No sense. Like in Denmark and Norway, people just had enough, and I think the government knew over there that they wouldn't be there any longer if people got really, because people were really thick of it, and they just said enough is enough, and that's the end of it. And over here, they just, I don't know, I don't know what to make of these politicians. I really don't know what to make of them. Especially because they did make a promise that they couldn't keep. Again, I did promise, and I knew rightly, and I know some people had hope, and I didn't want to rain on people's parades. I did say many times that there probably would be a lockdown for Christmas and things like that. I did say, and I still stand by that. I still think there would lock down the country for Christmas because the hospitals will be overwhelmed or something like that to come up with. Because I'm already going with that, saying that the hospitals are overwhelmed. It doesn't make sense, and half the population vaccinated. It really doesn't make sense, and they say the vaccine stops people from getting seriously ill or anything like that. Just, again, it doesn't. Again, maybe it's just me not thinking straight or not looking into it more. But the way I see it and the way I'm hearing it doesn't make much sense on a scale in my head. And in the way I see it in my head, it does make sense. But maybe I'm just wrong, and maybe I'm just not seeing the fine print. But yeah, so let me know what you think. Bye.